protector and provider, super.
Hey, what's up? It's Presley Tennant from The Voice, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show on Roku and YouTube.
Dark and made it brighter. Wish it could be half that strong.
I will make it. If I can make it through the night, just to see a brighter side. 'Cause I've been working all my life just to make it. If I can make it through the night.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. So you know that I have a niece and two nephews, which I love. I love them all. I love them. I don't have any kids of my own, and so I do consider them my children. I spend time with them, and I just love them to death. So my oldest nephew, who will be 6 in December, way back when, maybe 2-3 years ago, he was diagnosed with ADHD and autism. And so it was a very scary thought, right? Something that we had no control over, and now having to deal with, especially very hard on my sister. As of now, he is, again, almost 6 years old. He's started school. He understands a lot. He's a boy, so he's doing boy stuff. But he doesn't have the appetite. And also, too, he is not as verbal as we would like him to be. But again, he understands. And so learning and living with this is something that we are all dealing with. And again, we're taking it step by step. This is why now I am a strong advocate for autism and learning more about it and what it entails. Our guests today are doing the same thing. We have an individual with us that has been diagnosed with autism and someone that works with autism. We're so glad to have our special guest with us today. We have gospel artist Kenny Lewis with us, and also too former NFL player Joe Barksdale with us as they tell their stories and experience in their words. We're so excited to have them. As you know, this week we've lost another legend in the acting world, Michael K. Williams. And watching him over the years and growing up and watching him, I've always seen him as a figure of determination, inspiration, and dedication to the craft. You will be missed, Michael. Definitely will be missed. Back in a moment. Coming up, we have Kenny Lewis. We'll be right back. On the next Michael Finkley, we have actor D.W. Bass with us and gospel artist Jason Claiborne. Monday.
Hey everybody, my name is Arthur Vernon R. Matthews Jr. I just wrote a new book called Family Ties, and I also want to say a special shout out to one of the kids that I mentored and has got his own TV show on Roku, Michael Finkley, and this is 100th episode. So if you guys want to really hear about this book and see what's going on, check out Mike Finkley on The Finkley Show.
School districts, organizations, nonprofits, are you in search of a new promotional products company? Seegers Promotional Products is a Black-owned national company with over 780,000 products to choose from. Compared to other promotional products companies, they have the lowest prices in the industry. From pens, bags, shirts, they got you covered. They always remember that you are the customer and you come first. They always promise fast production and also fast delivery. With Seegers Promotional Products Company, you truly have the best. Check out their website at seegerspromotions.com and also on Facebook and LinkedIn. And tell them Finkley sent you. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now my next guest, he is an educator along with being a gospel artist. He's got a story to tell, I promise you. He is Kenny Lewis. Kenny, thank you for being with us today.
Hey, man, my pleasure. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. It is truly an honor and a privilege. What you have been doing in the field of music and also education is compared to none. So thank you for all that you do.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Definitely. So let's go back. Chicago music. How did it all start for you?
Yeah, well, I come from a singing family. So my mom had 10 siblings. All of them sing. All of their kids sing. All of their kids sing or sing and play. So I was born into a music family. And
Mhm.
so that's really where it started. We were a little sheltered. So all my influences at a young age came from my uncles and aunts and older cousins. Yeah, but that's where it really started. We have three pastors in the family.
Oh,
This is funny, even talking about. I don't know why it's funny. Don't ask me. I don't know, but it is funny. Yes, we have three pastors in in the family, uh, and it's not what we call family. We are blood related, you know. So I grew up. Long story short, I grew into a music singing family, and that's where it started.
gotcha, gotcha. And that has blessed you tremendously. At one point in your life, in your musical career, did you really say to yourself, you know what? I can reach the masses.
You know what? To be honest, I didn't have that vision as a youngster to reach the masses. I knew that God was calling me into recording when these songs start coming to me, and then I wanted to go in the studio. I wanted to get involved, and so I knew what my calling was, and it's so crazy that I would just write music, and people would cry and go into worship, and I was a young kid. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but the passion really came, I would say, when I was about 19 or 20, because we were so, I always say shelter, but we were. I couldn't play ball on Sundays. Had to do three services in church, three, 4 nights. Yeah. So,
Mhm, mhm.
so once I turned about 18, 19, uh, quote unquote, considered an adult, then I could kind of spread my wings. And so that's when I started to experience some other things on a professional level. Um, I sang with, and people probably don't even remember, Mark Hubbard and the United Voices for Christ. Their very first CD was on Ty Scott Records. The song Worthy of All the Praise. I was the lead on that. Ricky Dillard and New Generation had, I think it was their third album. It was entitled Hallelujah. I led uh, the single on there entitled Hallelujah. So I was able to kind of feel my way through and get some recording under my belt as well as traveling, things I've learned to do on and off stage. And it just took off from there.
Wow, you have seen major success within the various albums that you've had over the years. Let's talk about this fifth album, right? Undefeated. It is still
Yeah.
Sweep the Nations with your single Undefeated. Love it, Undefeated, How did this come about? Where did the song come from?
The song Undefeated, it's so crazy. You're looking at someone that is, I knew I was trying to record an album. I didn't know what to call it.
Mhm.
I had some songs. I didn't know which way to go. And I started thinking about my life experiences. And I know everybody has a story, but this is absolutely true. My mom has passed. My dad has passed. All four grandparents on each side has passed. I'm divorced, and I still survive. Um, and so I began to, there would be times, man, where I would go on stage and people would just feel the presence of God, and I would still come home empty. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you were so anointed tonight. And I would come home empty because I was in a hurting stage of all of this loss going on in my family. But I was able to survive, and not just survive some of it, I survived all of it. And it was only because of Christ. And that's where the title of the song, Undefeated, no matter what the battle is, he still remains undefeated. I had no other choice, literally, but to depend and trust in him. Um, Not knowing that we were getting ready to be in a pandemic, not knowing that people were going to be at home and all they had was visual content, because we actually recorded the album at the end of 2019. And then we went into the pandemic, the top of the year. People said, don't put out an album. But I tell people all the time, man, you have to be led. So album in the pandemic has been my biggest album of my career. God is faithful. Faithful. Yeah. So every song has a video. People feel like they were there. Millions of streams. Like I'm like, God, you are tripping, you know. But it has been a blessing. And I like accolades. Everyone likes accolades. That's fine. But the DMs, the posts, the constant sharing of people going through chemo, people going through COVID, people going through surgery, of how they listened to this project and still held on to the promise that God is undefeated. Man, it means more than anything.
Amazing. God knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
God knows what he's doing. And even in the midst of a pandemic, God
In
is
the
still
mid.
there. And that's what he has done for you. Did you realize in going into this project that this was going to be successful the way it is now?
You know, I, anybody that would answer that question, be like, no, I didn't think so. I didn't know how successful it would be, but I know what I had seen. I know what God showed me from the look of the group to who was going to co-produce with me the songs. I could see them in dreams, literally performing the songs. I promise to God. Um, Tiffany Andrews is on one of my favorite songs that I wrote called Amazing.
Mhm.
And in the midst of it hadn't even, she was on Sunday Best. It hadn't even gotten down to top three yet. But I knew this song was tailor made for her. So we booked her before the show ended because I could see her, literally, I could see her singing this song, man, and the way God just put all of that stuff together. I wanted Aaron Lewis to co produce with me. He came in, people know him from Kirk Franklin and James Fortune. But man, he came in, it was like we had been working together for years. So it's one thing to, so did I expect the success? I really didn't know. I just wanted to be led, and I know what I saw and what he had given me, other people couldn't see it because the vision was for me to execute.
I love it. I love it. Like I said, what
Yeah.
success it has been. But not only do you bless our souls, but you bless the minds of others as well. And you are a teacher. You're a teacher. You're an educator, which it is amazing. I love to see other Black male educators. I love it. I love it. But not only do you teach, but you teach a special kind of student. Can you talk about that for us?
Sure. I teach autistic kids and I also teach behavioral kids. It has absolutely been a joy to my life um, to see these kids' territory just expand, just the growth. And you have to, it really solidifies meeting people where they are. You know, kids are attracted to how you look, your persona. And so that's what initially they gravitated to. But to be able to drop nuggets, to be able to teach them, to be able to see the vocabulary expand, to be able to teach them how to do arithmetic and science project, and even have the leeway to implement my music as well. They wanted me to be a music teacher. No, absolutely not. I do enough music, but I tell anybody, you need more than one income in this day and age. And absolutely. And to do something that you love doing. I love seeing people win. You know, even in the gospel industry, anybody knows me, they know I'm not a hater. If I see something I like, I'm sharing it, I'm posting it. Oh, they have a new album. That's just me. So I love to see people win. And I'm not, your winning doesn't affect me, but I get joy out of being able to celebrate you. And I think what you send out into the earth, it will definitely come back. So yes, those kids are my heart, man. So I go every day. When I have to tour or do spots, I save up all my vacation days so I can just leave to go sing. But yes, it is absolutely a joy.
What kind of teacher are you? They call you Mr. Lewis. What kind of teacher are you?
They absolutely call me Mr. Lewis, and they tell me I think I'm a hip hop teacher. Oh, okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's do this going noodle. We do a little dance around. But yeah, so I teach all subjects, but yeah, I am because I have first graders, and some third graders I just started with. But however, yeah, it's Mr. Lewis.
Love it. I love it. Continue to do it because, again, especially being a Black male in the classroom,
Yeah. Well, thank you, man.
Definitely need that. So what's next for Kenny? Kenny is doing well. He is successful, as some people say across the world. What is Kenny going to do next?
Well, what people don't know is I want to do something that was never done for me. When I started my group, nobody said, well, hey, don't do that again on stage. Maybe you shouldn't wear that. Maybe you shouldn't do that. I had no tutelage, no one to train me until I got my head cracked on stage, literally. It was literally, not figuratively, but literally. There was myself, Ty Tribbett, Mary, and Yolanda Adams. Mm-hmm. Could we sing? Yes. Did we have a great band? Yes. Did we have theatrics? Yes. But no ministry. We were just singing, and we're on this stage, and I felt horrible and convicted. That was early on in my career. So since nobody ever did that for me, that's what I want to do for the up and coming artists and the next generation. People don't know I stepped out on faith and started this record company for this album on my own. Pure Sound Music Group. Not only did I start it, but we got national distribution, so it can be purchased in Walmart, even physical copies. I mean, God just blessed us. So I wanted to introduce the label and the distribution with my group first, but my long-term plan is to filter new artists and artists that I believe in. I can coach and help to cultivate the gift and potential and bring them in and filter them in through my label.
I love it. Paying it forward. See what happens when you walk into your gift and you live in it, you just swallow all up in it. This is what happens. How can they follow you on social media, and how can they get your music? Undefeated.
Yeah, anywhere you get music from, you can find Kenny Lewis in one voice, Undefeated. iTunes, Amazon, Walmart, wherever you want to go, wherever you get your music from, it's there. You can follow us at Kenny Lewis, O as in Oliver, V as in Victor, Kenny Lewis OV on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Kenny Lewis, and One Voice. Whatever we're doing, you can find out on any of those platforms.
You heard it here, everyone. Y'all, it's none other than Kenny Lewis. Thank you for being with us today.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Back in a moment. Next, we have Joe Barksdale with us. Back in a moment.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Bill Whitehouse Jr. with Dan Chef House Talk, and you're watching the Michael Finkley Show on RokuTV and YouTube, baby.
Are you an inspiring speaker looking to break into the industry? Well, I have the event just for you. Take a part of the virtual up-and-coming speaker showcase happening Saturday, September 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. During this time, you get to meet top decision makers in the industry looking to book you. Receive feedback through our one-on-one sessions, networking, and so much more. To register, visit our website at speakershowcase21.org. Remember, the earlier bird price ends soon. Life is an investment, so invest in yourself. Join us for the virtual up-and-coming speaker showcase.
She is flexible and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I, Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
Discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we are often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, my next guest, he is a former NFL player. He's a musician. He's a comedian. He's an advocate. Did I miss something, Joe? I don't think I did. It's Joe Barksdale. Joe, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Michael. How you doing?
I am good, man. Living the dream.
Hey, it's
You know,
that's a good dream to live.
that's what we do. That's what we do in these streets, these Corona streets. That's what we do. All right, sir. So let's just start it off, man. When you were a child, what was your biggest dream that you wanted to accomplish?
I wanted to work at one of the car factories. I wanted to be an engineer and help design car interiors.
Wow.
So like, why? I love technology. I felt like car interiors could get a lot better, you know, back in when I was a little kid, 90, 92, 93. And probably those two things, you know, I felt like I could help make things better. There were things in my mind that hadn't been explored yet. Things now that people are doing, you know, massage seats, that kind of thing. But yeah, I was very adamant about, you know, just engineering in general, but in specific things that had to do with car interiors, but anything that involved like computer animated design, that kind of thing, I was really into it.
Okay, so that led you to another avenue. That passion, you saw it down the line, but looking down another avenue. Let's talk about the NFL, right? 8 years, 3 teams. How did this even come about?
Actually, it was because of engineering too. I was in this residential engineering camp, and I can't read social situations. Misread a situation at camp. Long story short, me and another kid got kicked out. I needed something to do over the summer. Decided to try to play football to get in shape, and one of the high school coaches felt like I could get a scholarship, and I'm like, well, shit, you know, I'm trying to go to college for free. Then I got to college, and it was the same thing. They said, hey, you know, you can do this for a living. And I'm like, well, you know, that's cool. But I'm not trying to say I fell into it. But I did take it as it came, so to speak. Like I never, when I first started playing football in high school, I didn't even know what the NFL was, let alone like, I didn't know what football was or anything. But I think it goes back to, you know, and I'm not trying to, you know, talk about meditation, but, you know, people talk about like mindfulness and being in the moment and that kind of thing. I would say that's what I did throughout football. Like I was, you know, like when I was playing in high school, it was just focused on high school, getting better as a high school player, that kind of thing. Same in college and same as a professional. But that's how it started, by getting kicked out of an engineering camp.
You got kicked out of a camp and somehow end up in the NFL.
I know it sounds crazy. Like,
you know, everyone has a story. Everyone has a story. That's a very unique story too. But how was it experience for you in those 8 years? What did you learn about yourself?
That I hate people. I mean, I learned that I don't like working in groups much. I mean, a lot of the things that I learned about myself while I was playing football made sense after I found out I was autistic. I didn't get the autism diagnosis till like 2 years ago. My apologies for that one. But yeah, I didn't get the autism diagnosis till 2 years ago. So it kind of answered a lot of questions. But yeah, I mean, I don't like meeting new people. That's another thing that I learned while I was playing football. I don't appreciate a lot of fans. I mean, you know, for several reasons. We all know toxic sports fans and that kind of thing. But I mean, the biggest thing that I learned is that like I'm different. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And that's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
That's what makes us unique.
But you know, uniqueness is a problem in professional sport. I mean, in sports in general, because they want you to be a part of a team and everyone needs to think the same. And, you know, even this whole, like, I could never get behind the whole, like, we're a family. It's like, we're not a family. Like, we don't share the same blood, you know, like, but I have my own distorted view of a family. But just that, the way that I see family versus the way everyone else sees family, that kind of thing. It was just too many differing things. And, you know, human beings don't like different all the time. So.
Is that why you just said, I'm done with this, I'm going to just pursue my passion?
You said what led to that?
So when, I said basically, that's when you said you were done, right?
Yeah.
You were done with this. After 8 years, I think this is enough. I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah, like I made a decision that I was going to stop being who people thought I should be and start being more myself, you know?
Yeah. That led to music, right?
Yep, that led to music. It led to a lot of things: music, comedy, acting, cooking. I stay busy.
When do you sleep?
When
do you sleep?
I get a good like 5 hours a night. So, you know, midnight to 7, 6.
Okay.
Wake up usually in the middle of that time, just, you know, hanging out for about an hour. But yeah, so good 5 hours.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about your music though. What makes it so different than what we're hearing in today's music language?
Probably the way, so I'll describe it. It is if Marvin Gaye, Jimi Hendrix, and Sly Stone. Marvin Gaye, Jimi Hendrix, and Sly Stone were making music together, and Kanye West produced it. It's an amalgamation of all the things that I dig, as well as, you know, it's got its own personal imprint of who I am on top of it. But I would say what makes it different is the same stuff that makes me different, because the same things that make me different are what led me to make music. So because I'm unique and my music is a way for me to communicate, like, you know, by theory, it's going to be unique in and of itself, as long as I stay true to myself. So that's what makes it different.
Okay. And on this journey of music, right, what are some things that you've seen so far that's kind of catch your eye to this new industry that you are a part of now?
I say live concerts. It's why I started playing music in the first place. If there were no such thing as live concerts, I don't think I'd be doing music. That's not to say I don't like the studio, because I love being in the studio and all that too. But favorite part, the thing that draws me to it is the live concerts. Being able to, come to think of it, all the things that I do, being able to communicate with people, make a connection, and be understood. You know,
I like that part, Joe. I like that part. Being understood, because that's what we all want, right? You may not like my perspective, but you're gonna understand where I'm coming from. That's one thing to know and understand, real for real. I like that. And so I feel that, you know, being understood and understanding your story too goes back to you saying that about autism, right? You found that you were autistic. What was that like finding out only 2 years ago?
I mean, it was a little scary, honestly, just because I've been diagnosed with mental illness. I got married in 2015. I've been diagnosed with 2 mental illnesses since we had been married. And then I found out about the autism too. And, you know, I felt like my wife pulled off the used lie with a lemon. I'm like, hey, I didn't realize I was so messed up, you know, that kind of thing. But, you know, after getting over that, like I said before, you know, it answered a bunch of questions that helped me learn more about myself. And I think that in and of itself is just priceless, you know, learning more about yourself. But it, you know, it connected a lot of dots. And it, I guess more than anything, I was just, you know, oh, thank God I'm not absolutely insane, you know. So that was probably relief. Relief is the big one.
And in talking to you, and like I said, you're a grown man, right? And you're finding out about this about yourself. It gives me hope, because my nephew was diagnosed with autism and ADHD at the age of 3-4 years old. At one point, now he'll be 6 in December. That's my dude. And you know, at one point we thought that he was never going to walk, but he started running. Right? He's not very verbal right now, but he understands what's going on. If you tell him to do something, he's on it. You know, he's a dude, he's a little boy, so he gets in his ways. So seeing you and hearing your story gives me hope. You know, it gives hope to my sister as well, because she has those nights where she's just crying and wants to hear her child's voice and saying mama, you know, asking that kind of thing. But hearing you and just saying Joe got through it and is getting through it, anyone else can as well. So your story is very inspirational. What do you want the world to know about your brand, your story, your journey? What do you want them to really realize about Joe?
That I believe that we're all human beings that want to love and be loved, you know, understand and be understood. And I want to be synonymous with that thought. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily like, you know, like the peace symbol or you know, the summer love in the 60s, but just, you know, genuine acceptance and togetherness, and, you know, looking at people as souls and bodies as opposed to, you know, whatever else we look at each other as, because we're all human beings, you know, like we're all human beings at the end of the day. You know, we all go through the same things. It may look different, it may sound different, but we're all, you know, the same. And just that, you know, we're all human beings, you know.
All human beings.
Yeah.
We'll say, what are you working on now?
I'm working on the follow-up album to Sincerely. I actually have a string of comedy shows in Dallas over the next 5 days, so I'm excited about that. And then, you know, the usual, I have a YouTube tech channel too, where I do tech reviews. The Galaxy Z Fold, I don't know if you're in the phones or not, but the Z Fold 3 just got in, the foldable Samsung phone.
Yeah.
So I do YouTube videos and that kind of stuff too. So I guess I'm working on a lot. I also do poetry. I'm writing a book. I do a lot. So that's the stuff and dog training. We got 2 Doberman puppies, so dog training, working on that too. And child rearing, we got 2 kids too.
So listen, I'm Joe. Don't add anything else to your repertoire, sir. No, the sky is not the limit. Don't tell me the sky's the limit when the footprints on the moon.
That's true.
Glad that you're staying busy. I'm glad that you are changing perspectives, because someone's out there is watching. Right? Someone's out there is listening to you. Someone's saying, God knows if he can do it, I can do it too. How can they find you on social media?
At JBDALE72, JBDale72 on Instagram and Twitter. And, Joe Barksdale on Facebook, or you can just go to josephbarksdale.com. You can find everything there.
All right, you heard it here. Joe, thanks for being with us and telling your story in your way, in your perspective. We appreciate you. Keep going.
Thanks for having me.
Keep going, bro. Back in a moment. Need a little motivation? Timothy Clifton is with us every week on Mondays to get your week started with a little motivation, all here on The Michael Finkley Show. Calling all TRIO, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our college readiness cohort series. This college readiness series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really? If interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you. School districts, organizations, nonprofits, are you in search of a new promotional products company? Seegers Promotional Products is a Black-owned national company with over 780,000 products to choose from. Compared to other promotional products companies, they have the lowest prices in the industry. From pens, bags, shirts, they got you covered. They always remember that you are the customer and you come first. They always promise fast production and also fast delivery. With Seegers Promotional Products Company, you truly have the best. Check out their website at seegerspromotions.com and also on Facebook and LinkedIn. And tell them Finkley sent you. On the next Michael Finkley, we have actor D.W. Bass with us and gospel artist Jason Claiborne. Monday. Hey, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. I do hope that you learned something from this segment this time, as in the realm of autism, because it is just so awesome to see people and their stories and their experiences and telling and encouraging and inspiring through those words, as you did Kenny, as you did Joe. Thank you so much for being with us today. On the next Michael Finkley, we have actor D.W. Bass with us and gospel artist, Grammy-nominated singer, writer, the dude is bad, Jason Claiborne with us. It's another show you don't want to miss. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring the bell for notification. We'll see you an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And up-to-date information about what we do here on the show, please visit our website at michaelfinkleyshow.com. RokuTV, we can't forget. Please to add the Great Works Network to your RokuTV and watch The Michael Finkley Show every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or catch us on demand. Thank you so much again, and we cannot appreciate you enough. We love you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next time. Have a good one.